With one Facebook posting, but if a developer gets their way, this entire school will be torn down and an apartment complex will go up.
I walk up and down in front of the school, and it comes back being 15 years old all over again, and I had tears.
Generations of former John Marshall students gather at their alma mater.
We're the best and even more. We're the class of 74.
Dressed in old school uniforms, they flip through yearbooks and reminisce about days gone by.
You can't ask for a better high school than John Marshall.
Sherry Lynn Green is the reason for the gathering.
I'm right there. That's my sophomore year, class of 87. I still look the same.
She posted an event notice on Facebook expecting only a few people.
Next thing I knew, everybody was coming.
Hundreds of former classmates showed up to sign a petition.
Having all of the class members sign it so we could save our high school.
All of them intent on saving a school they love.
I'm going to cry if they ever tear it down. I'll just cry.
It just seems like it'd be a waste of such a good school with such good memories.
It's a beautiful building. It's a wonderful location, and it needs to be preserved. So whatever they decide, at least we had our last day.
And the petition will be presented to the City Council on March 14th. That's when they'll decide the future of this property. Reporting live in Northeast Oklahoma City, Kim Passoff, KOCO, Eyewitness News 5.
Thank you, Kim. If you'd like to sign the petition, it'll be circulating at
their
the John
mark on the
Marshall homecoming
OKC school that was
basketball
such a
game
big part of their
on Friday.
past. Former students and staff continue visiting the old John Marshall High School before it's gone. Crews tearing it down one piece at a time.
Well, before its history, thousands are trying to relive the past one last time. KOCO's Brian Swansky is there live tonight. Brian.
Yeah, Morgan Mecca, demolition may have begun here at the school, but it's far from finished. This, a piece of a chair from the auditorium. You can find stuff like this still scattered all around the old building. This school building opened in 1950. They've since moved to a new building. They moved to that in 2005. But for the folks that called this place home, still a lot of memories here. You can see here behind me a group gathered here. They've been coming out here day and night for the last few weeks as they've been tearing down the school, reminiscing about their time in school together and their love for this place.
Pretty sad. Bring back a lot of memories, though.
Very sad. Just is really sad to see it go, you know, trying to collect all the memories that we can.
Memories. 56 years of them, now hidden in layers of rubble and debris.
Well, the place of all these wonderful memories won't be here anymore.
Class of 86, 72, 65. This used to be John Marshall High School, a place for learning, a place where dreams began.
You've heard all the stories about how John Marshall people are so successful, and when I came here, that was still the tradition.
Now, as the sun sets on the old building, what's left is now a place for former students and teachers to reflect on their coming of age.
I wanted to drive here for the last time the route that I took from my house in high school.
Collecting pieces of their school.
I'm going to get a couple of bricks.
And leaving pieces of themselves behind.
Spray it, color red and blue.
Remembering where budding love first started.
He graduated in 79. I went to 78. We were high school sweethearts here. We've been married 45 years.
And the challenges of the rest of their lives began.
This is a place that gave birth to the completion of many, many dreams for many people.
Now, my photographer tonight, Dave Valaga, is actually a 1973 graduate of this school. He was chatting with some of his old classmates earlier, and I think they summed this up best. They said, back in the day, they couldn't keep us in this building, and now they can't keep us out. Reporting live tonight from the old John Marshall High School. Brian Schlonski,
If you've gone by, you know it's been sitting empty for years. Today, the old John Marshall High School was torn down, but former alumni say they're furious by the demolition. News Channel 4's Ashley Kringen explains why.
There's a lot of memories being torn down.
It's a sad day for many, especially those with family ties to the original John Marshall High School.
I graduated in 78. My daughter graduated in 98. My son graduated in 99. My husband, Herschel Martin, graduated in 66.
Former students walking around the construction site.
That's the girls' basketball gym and their locker room.
And grabbing bricks as keepsakes.
Last final memories.
The most upsetting part for some alumni is they found out about the official demolition date on Facebook while it was happening. What was your immediate reaction?
Sadness, despair, kind of. A lot of memories, friends and things.
Kind of sad to see it finally got knew it was coming.
The Oklahoma City Planning Commission approved the soon-to-be empty lot for what's called Marshall Square, an apartment complex that will look more like big houses. Some residents don't mind the idea.
Out with the old and in with the new. It's the new year.
While others are disappointed.
I'd rather see a park or something for kids instead of an apartment building, because there's nothing around here for kids besides to get into trouble.
Either way, it's a bittersweet day for people who remember the old John Marshall School. In Oklahoma City, Ashley Crinan, News Channel 4.
This new apartment complex is going to be large. It'll include 270 two-story units. No word on when it will open.
Tonight, the demolition of the old John Marshall High School is nearly complete. Crews are stripping and clearing the building of debris, and for some, it is the end of an era. News 9's Steve Shaw is live with their story tonight. Steve?
Robin, this John Marshall High School has been closed for 8 years. There's a new John Marshall High, but for some, it will never replace the old. As the sun signaled its retreat Thursday, John Marshall alumni gathered to pick out last-minute souvenirs in and outside a building that first opened in 1948.
It's part of my neighborhood. It's a building I fell in love with. And I got to say goodbye. Sorry.
Danny Scott is a member of a John Marshall alumni group that's been assisting construction crews to ready it for Monday's demolition. This land will soon be used to build a large apartment complex.
We've been told that there's some time capsules buried here, and the construction company has told us that if they find them, they will turn them over to the alumni. And that's where they belong.
A couple months ago, Danny came across this old John Marshall letter jacket at an estate sale. It used to belong to a man who graduated from this school in 1955.
There wasn't the rich kids or the poor kids. We were all the same.
Annette Leeskamp is a member of the John Marshall Foundation. She says renovating this structure wouldn't have made economic sense.
It is mortar and brick, and that the spirit of John Marshall is really in our spirit.
Valine Cooks was principal here for a decade in the 1990s. The irony of all this graffiti isn't lost on her.
I'm okay with this kind of graffiti because it represents people's spirit and people's love for the time that they spent here at John Marshall.
Valine Cook says, don't forget, in the 1995-96 school year, the John Marshall Bears finished undefeated state champions in football and basketball, and she says she doesn't think that's been duplicated in Oklahoma since. Live in Oklahoma City, Steve Shaw, News 9.